Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. I was actually not sure that I would be able to make a video update today, and you can hear on my voice that I am deeply affected. And I was thinking not to make this video, but then I thought, why not just be honest and share from my heart about what's going on and how it makes me feel, because that's the reason why so many people have followed me over the years, because I'm being honest. Yesterday I got so sick. It was Shabbat, and when the sun was setting last night, we were going to go into Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which is today. I will get back to that later. On Thursday, a video came out from Gaza, from Ram, one of our hostages, and it broke me. Look at him. Precious, precious Ram, who has been in Hamas brutal captivity. I'm sorry, this was Islamic Jihad. Islamic Jihad brutal captivity for more than 600 days. They released this propaganda, disgusting video, our precious Ram. And this really broke me, watching this video, thinking about him and his precious family and the hell that he has had to go through. Then on Friday night, we had another ballistic missile coming from Yemen, and we had to run for cover again. And then on Saturday, when I was trying to rest a little bit on all of this before it was going to be Tisha B'Av, the savages, the modern day Nazis in Gaza, released another video of a hostage, David, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Look at this. Look at this. Look at him. A living skeleton. This is how he was, and look at him now. Like coming right out of Nazi concentration camp. Hamas released this video where you can see he is crossing off the days where he have been in Hamas brutal captivity. And in that video, he is also forced to dig what looks like he could be digging his own grave. Absolutely horrific. It just broke me. I got physically sick. I had to throw up, and I got cold. Shaking from a cold that I've never felt in my life. I had to take a steaming hot shower, even though we had 32 Celsius. And I went to bed and I was shaking from cold, covering on the blanket and blanket, because the trauma that I carry inside watching him and Ram just exploded in my body and just made me physically sick. So I just had to shut off everything. So now my question is, was this on your headlines in your mainstream media, wherever you are around the world? Was these photos the headline? Horrific videos and photos coming out of the Gaza Strip. If anybody is being starved in Gaza, it's our precious hostages. You have it black on white here. Was this the headline? Wherever you are around the world, was this breaking news? Was this the top story that they chose to share? Was this the top story from Amnesty International? Had they been out condemning this? Was this the top story from Red Cross? Are they out condemning this? Are they out even sharing about this? Apologizing to him, to them, and to Israel for not once going in to visit our precious hostages. Where is the outcry from all the failing governments around the world? Britain, Canada, France, Norway, Denmark, Ireland, Spain, all of these nations who is out condemning Israel and who is calling for a Palestinian state. Where is the outcry from our hostages? The real ones who's being beaten, abused, and starved inside the Gaza Strip. And then in this video, the terrorist who is filming this, you can see he's reaching over with a can of food, and you can see his arm, which is healthy and fat and muscles, while they are out saying that we don't eat more than the hostages. While we have had videos coming out of these fat terrorists with all the food they could possibly eat, sitting in their tunnels, and other hostages who have said we could smell the food just on the other side of the door. We could smell the food they were cooking, but we didn't eat for days. It's simply unbelievable. So is your mainstream media out sharing this? Are your governments condemning this? Is this headline news wherever you are around the world? If not, and probably not, shame on you. Shame on you. Another thing that really broke me yesterday and made my trauma explode, and really made me sick, was during these almost 2 years, when I was watching Israeli media, on and off, I saw a police officer who was on sharing his story. On October 7, he was living in a moshe near to the Gaza Strip together with his wife and three daughters, but he was working in Hebron on that day. His wife called him and told him, we are being invaded, this is what's happening. So he asked permission, so he drove from Hebron towards down to the communities at the Gaza Strip. And on that drive, he had 5 shootouts with vile Hamas terrorists, and he killed 13 of them. Such a hero. And he arrived, he quickly saw his wife and his 3 daughters, and then he went out to defend the Jewish homelands against all of these modern day Nazis who invaded Israel on that day. Tremendous hero, really one of the heroes on that day. But it had a deep impact on him with all of the trauma and with dealing with all of this. And he felt guilty of the people he couldn't save. But he was on and off on Israeli news channels. I saw him when I was flipping channel. And then yesterday, Igor, this is his name, from one of the times he was on TV. I found out yesterday that he had committed suicide about 2 months ago because the trauma was too much from that day. And the guilt of not being able to save anymore. So within a few days, horrific videos coming out of our hostages nearly being starved to death. I found out this guy that I have seen on TV committed suicide, and several soldiers has actually committed suicide because of the horrific trauma that they have endured on October 7, but also after being at war in the north and in Gaza. Some of the soldiers which had the job of evacuating soldiers who got injured and killed inside Gaza, it was simply too much. The horror, the trauma was too much. So several soldiers and also police officers has actually committed suicide. So it's really horrific, and it just broke me. I got physically sick. The trauma just exploded yesterday. So today is Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. This is the saddest day in the Jewish history. So much calamity occurred on this day. The Jews were expelled from Spain. from England, and the biggest things are that on this particular day in history, both the first and the second temple was destroyed. The temple that God called them to build, to go up to Jerusalem and to give their offerings at the feast every year, to walk into the holiest of the holiest, where the high priest went in with the sacrifice. This was God's. This is where they went and they sacrificed and they prayed to the Lord. And we know that the first and the second temple was on the Temple Mount. This is where the Jewish people have thousands of years of connections and a tie to Jerusalem, the holy city. And in Jerusalem, it's on the Temple Mount. But the Muslim invaders came and conquered, and they, on top of the ruins of the temple, they squashed down the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So today, the Western Wall is the outer wall of the old temple, so that's why they go down there. So today is a day where it's a full fast day, no food, drink, shower. People are sitting on the ground, they're reading Lamentations, and they go to the Western Wall. Been there praying all day last night and tonight and all day today. And then also thousands of Jews, proud Jews, are flocking to the Temple Mount today, where they don't have a temple as of this moment, but there will be, to pray the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So thousands of Jews are on the Temple Mount today and praying actually also openly on the Temple Mount today. So yeah, forgive me, but I have been here for many years, and I have seen the moral decay of the world and the moral compass towards Israel and the Jewish people completely evaporating. Where evil has become good, where darkness has become light, where people's moral compass and governments around the world has completely fallen when it comes to Israel. Naturally, some of the nations who is out now, England, France, is completely being run over by Muslims, putting pressure on them to condemning Israel. Europe has fallen completely when it comes to standing up for Israel and being run over by Muslims taking over. So as these videos and photos are coming out from our hostages, the only adults who's being starved in Gaza, is there an outcry around the world? Is there condemnations around the world in mainstream media and in governments around the world? The failing United Nations, the leader of the United Nations, are you out condemning this? Are you out speaking up for our hostages? Or do you continue with all the lies and the fabrications built on the health ministry in Gaza, which is modern day Nazis, Hamas, about the lies, the propaganda about starvation, when there has been brought more aid into Gaza that could feed several countries? Aid is pouring into Gaza. That's not the problem. The problem are the failing United Nations, who don't want to work with the other agencies, who has distributed more than 100 million meals, because it goes around Hamas. Hamas is not involved. And by the way, one of the leaders of Hamas is out now saying that the nation who is now recognizing Palestine is a result of their operation on October 7th. Their operation, when they gang raped teenage girls, when they raped mothers in front of their children, in front of their hospitals, when they took iron rods and jammed into their vaginas, when they mutilated men's genitals, when they cut women's breasts off and they played football with them, when they burned babies, they burned whole families alive. And now you're rewarding that into a Palestinian state that doesn't exist, that doesn't have any borders, that doesn't have any language, nothing, all fabricated. On this day, Tisha B'Av, where we are mourning all the calamities that happened to the Jewish people on this particular day. So shame on the world, the mainstream media, the governments around the world, the United Nations, European Union, Amnesty International, Red Cross, failing, moral compass, simply evil from the pit of hell. So please pray for our precious hostages who are still in the tunnels, in the dungeons, in cages, being starved, while their Monday Nazis, prison guards, are cooking right outside the door. I want to end by showing you this. Look at my beautiful bracelets. This white with the Star of David. This is the orange with the butterfly for the Bibas family. Have we forgotten already? Siri Bibas, who was brutally kidnapped with Ariel and Kefir and brutally murdered. This is for them. And here are the yellow one with the ribbon for the hostages. I got this as a present from a beautiful lady who follow me on social media. Thank you so much. Have we forgotten about the Jewish children who was kidnapped, violently kidnapped, and they were murdered, ripped apart with bare hands? So much that the people working in the morgue here in Israel broke down in tears when they saw how their small bodies were mutilated. So for such a time as this, me and my house will always stand with Israel. Pray for Israel for such a time as this. Bye.